To get a really good understanding of the monoamine oxidase theory and SSRIs, we need to go into your brain. Specifically, of course, the space between the neurons, the synapse. Now, what you're looking at here are two neurons, and here's one here, the presynaptic neuron, and on the right, the postsynaptic neuron. The signal will be coming through this neuron across the synapse and through this neuron. So it's in this synapse where all the action takes place and where we can affect your moods, your energy levels, etc. This is a perfect opportunity to also look at something, and that is the way that medications work to affect our moods. And let's just take depression as an example. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw out these small yellow balls, which I'll refer to as molecules of serotonin. Now let's assume that this neuron on the left here has released serotonin out into the synapse to be communicated to the neuron on the right here. All right. So what's going to happen is it's going to cross the synapse. Now some of them will take their places over here on this neuron. All right. Some of them will go through and continue the signal. Now, however, some molecules of serotonin are left behind in the synapse. Now, what happens to them? Well, two things. Some of them can be reabsorbed into the presynaptic neuron. Okay, that's called reuptake. Others are destroyed, and they are destroyed by some enzymes, which are referred to as monoamine oxidase. Now, I'm going to use this little symbol here from the Pac-Man days to indicate that MAO is destroying that serotonin molecule. All right? People who experience depression have low levels of serotonin. There's really two things we can do to try to affect that. One of them would be to prevent the reabsorption of the serotonin molecule. And we do that with a class of drugs known as SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Right? And you would know them more in their common names, things like, for example, the most well-known probably Prozac, Lexapro, Paxil, drugs like that. Now what they do is, and I'm going to represent what they do with this little guy sitting in a chair. What they do is they take up the space where this serotonin molecule might have been reabsorbed. So it's sort of like you're playing musical chairs, and someone comes over and sits in the chair and prevents you from sitting there. So if you can't be reabsorbed, then the only other thing you could do is either be destroyed or be absorbed, the postsynaptic neuron. And some medications prevent serotonin from being destroyed. So some medications destroy the MAOs and keep the serotonin levels high in the system. And that's how we affect depression levels. Lots of links. Go check it out on www.thepsychfiles.com.